What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails of Cold Steel 2. Last time, the operation concluded with us apprehending Duke Alberea, Rufus and Eustace's father, with all of the stuff he had done. No one was willing to take a blind eye to what he was doing, you know. He burned one of his own towns to the ground that was part of his region, Keldic. You know, the people that were not happily, but still willing to deal with the tax increases that, you know, he was doing. They were still abiding by his laws. He just decided to burn it all to the ground, and the market manager dying along with it. So now we are in Barrierhard, as you can see, able to walk around freely because Barrierhard is now under the jurisdiction of the Imperial Army and the RMP. So we're going to enjoy a little stopover day with some bonding events to do. So based on where we are now, we're right here, so let's just go to the airport. Let's start with Alfin. See what Alfin's up to. She's definitely one of the bonding events I want to do. Oh, Alfin's dressed in her, obviously to stay kind of in disguise. The princess just walking around willy-nilly wouldn't really be great. It would seem they're about to hold mass over at the cathedral. I'm thinking of sneaking in kind of incognito, but something the matter? It's nothing, just pretend I didn't say anything. Oh, and try to get some rest, Reen. You must be exhausted. She seems like she's got something on her mind. Would you mind if I joined you, Your Highness? I'd feel much more at ease if I at least escorted you to the cathedral, just as a precaution, of course. Would you, Reen? Thank you so much for your concern. Shall we be off then? May as well. Seeing Barrierhard's cathedral up close is always breathtaking. You've been to Barrierhard before, haven't you? That's right, I have a number of noble acquaintances here. Speaking of which, today's mass seems to have attracted more of them than usual. Looks like it's intended as an occasion to mourn the losses suffered by Keldic. Oh. Judging by all the people I saw go in, it'll probably be a fairly large event. So it seems. I plan to attend as well to offer my prayers to the market manager. But no, it's nothing. Let's go inside, Reen. Obviously something weighing on her mind. And so Reen and Princess Alfin entered the cathedral to attend mass currently being held. Of course, they were careful to sit behind the majority of attendees to avoid standing out. However, during the sermon, I'm sure you have all heard by now of the terrible tragedy that took place in Keldic recently. In light of this, let us offer up our prayers for the people there. May Eidos be with them all. Rest in peace, Otto. What's going to happen to us from here on out? I can't believe they actually arrested Duke Alberea. Not to mention the fact that we've been removed from the Noble Alliance's jurisdiction. But why, though? I see no reason to accept the Imperial Army when our own army is still intact. Duke Alberea certainly has made a muck of things this time. Are these people for real? Aren't we supposed to be mourning the people of Keldic? There's a time and a place for self-pity, but it sure as hell isn't now. Besides, surely Keldic was partly to blame for... get off. I heard all about their belligerent attitude towards Duke Alberea. Yeah, because he was a douchebag. And yet he was arrested simply for teaching them a lesson? Teaching them a lesson? He burned the town to the ground. Disgraceful, I know. The beloved Empire certainly has been on the decline for the past couple of years. I can't take much more of this. Just who in the world do you people think you are? Uh-oh. Huh? Who dares raise their voice during Holy Mass? Wait, I know that face. Princess Alfin? How could you make light of what happened in Keldic? Do you genuinely believe that it's none of your concern that Celtic deserved its fate? Is this how you treat your fellow Erebonians? Don't you realize that by putting aside such social labels, this tragedy could have been prevented? Your Highness. But maybe I'm not one to talk. I may have shared the same sentiments as you all had I continued to live my cozy life in Heimdallr. I would have done little other than pity them without making an attempt to truly understand the gravity of the matter. In the end, it would have just been another event on the long list of things to eventually forget. I mean, that's the sad thing. That's the sad reality of things. That's how a lot of people treat things. You know, when horrible events like this happen, you know, if people aren't directly affected by it, they, of course, sympathize. They'll be like, man, that sucks. I mean, obviously not these nobles, but they'll be like, man, that sucks. But then, you know, a week later, they forget it ever happened. Nothing ever gets done. But please, I beg of you, please realize whether they are a noble or a commoner, every life matters. The people who suffered in Celtic, who lost their lives because of this war, are no less important than any of us. Each and every one of them lived a life of their own and had a future ahead of them until it was ripped away. Your Highness. Your Highness. Reen. So please, I ask anyone in disagreement with the Duke's arrest to go see Celtic for themselves. If that's not enough to convince you his arrest was the right thing to do, then by all means, bring your complaints to me. I swear on the honor of our household that I will listen to every single one of you in earnest. So maybe that's what was eating away at her, that, you know, people are just treating this like they're the ones being inconvenienced. After Princess Alfin's speech, they left the cathedral that had turned deathly quiet. From there, Reen escorted her back to the airport. The entire way, she struggled to hold back her tears. Thank you, Reen. I've gotten a hold of myself now. Oh, how embarrassing is it to act out like that during a holy mass? I don't think so, because they were supposed to be, like you said, they're supposed to be mourning what happened in Celtic, but they were just like, oh, what's going to happen to me? I'm sure my brother would. I don't think so. I think Olivia would have been... maybe a little, he would have been more composed, but I think the gravity of what he said would be similar to what she said. Prince Oliver would have handled that in his own way. Sure. You know what he would have done? He would have pulled out his lute and played a song. But that doesn't make your actions any less worthy of respect, however. You don't think it was too much? I mean, I mean it when I say when that speech hit very close to home. That's why I'm sure some of the nobles there must have been impacted the same way. If anything, I'd say you made me feel more proud to be a member of the Empire than ever before. Did I? I'm sure when this war comes to an end, your words will reach even more people too. Until then, all we can do is keep fighting. Thank you, Reen. Hearing you say that is such a relief. Happy to help, Your Highness. Let's just focus on doing what we can for now, okay? Please don't forget that we're all here to support you. Thank you. After Reen escorted Princess Alfin to the Courageous, he headed back to town. Alright, that was nice. I love how it's still giving us abilities with them together, even though, like, she hasn't been playable for a while. Alright, well, that was nice. So we have 5 left. Like I said last time, Alisa, Laura, and Sarah get saved for 3, so at least 2. Right, I do want to save one for Eustace. We'll save Eustace for last since that's where we have to go anyway, so that leaves 1 more besides my usual 3. Let's go to... let's go to Machias. We haven't done a bonding event with Machias this game, and I'm genuinely curious, because obviously Keldic had to have hit him pretty hard as well. Eustace's recent actions have me thinking. If my father stepped from the path of righteousness, would I be able to do the same thing Eustace did? Would you? I don't even want to think about it. It couldn't have been easy for him, of course. It'd take a lot of strength to stand up to your father like that. But I'm sure having our support is helping him make it through. He might not say it, but I think he appreciates us being here. You might be right. Aside from our support helping him, he's so full of himself that he's bound to recover once his ego reinflates itself. And on that note, I have shopping to do. Haha, wouldn't want to show too much compassion, would we, Machias? What could he be here to buy, though? What are you here to buy, anyway? Flowers for some special occasion? Oh, is he doing it for Keldic? That's one way to put it. Actually, while you're here, mind helping me choose? I think it'd make him happier if you did. Oh, is he doing it for the market manager? If it is, I'm really glad I came and did this one. Together, Reen and Machias made their choice and walked to the North Cruisin' Highway. This is Sar Bridge, right? Is there a reason you bought that bouquet, Machias? It's my way of paying my respects. This lake flows toward Keldic, so I guess here will do. It's for the market manager, isn't it? Well, yes, I owe him a lot after all. It's because of him that we were able to avoid being noticed by the provincial army during our time in Keldic. I don't think Class 7 would have ever been reunited if it wasn't for his help. It's frustrating, knowing we'll never be able to pay him back. This is the least I could do for him. Machias. It was the anniversary of my cousin's death the other day, too. But I wasn't able to visit her grave, obviously, because, you know, you can't get to Heimdallar. I couldn't with how things are at the moment, but it's the least I can do for her, too. Oh, was it? What exactly are you planning to do with the bouquet? Gaius taught me about a Nord way of paying respects to the dead that I wanted to try. They say sending a bouquet down a river, your feelings will reach those that have departed. This is my way of swearing an oath to both of them. That we'll make it through this war no matter what. And I'll work toward turning Erebonia into a country where the innocent have no need to suffer anymore. Attaboy! If only. Changing an entire country sounds impossible, but... You know what, Machias? Part of me feels like we can pull it off. If we can make it through this, there's no limit to what we can do, to what we can change. You really think so? I'm glad you feel the same way I do. I'm sure your cousin and the market manager are watching over us too. So let's make sure not to disappoint them. Wouldn't dream of it. Watch me, you two. With Class 7 by my side, I'll make sure to fulfill this vow I've given. Rain and Machias stood in respectful silence as they watched the bouquet float into the distance. Once it was completely out of view, they walked back to Berryhard. Ooh, that was a lot. We can't let the people of Keldic's countless sacrifices go to waste. So whatever it takes, let's change this nation and give it a brighter future. Right? Alright, so now we'll do the usual 3 and then we'll end with Eustace. So let's see where everyone is. Who's closest? Laura's over here? Sure. Wonder where she's going. Wonder why Laura's going out to the canyon alone. I know she can handle herself just fine, but still. I've got some time on my hands, so let's go check on her. Laura? She's going swimming in the river? Ha! Laura? Hey, are you alright? Why would you jump in when it's this cold out? Oh, I see you've come along too, Reen. There's no need for concern. It's cold, but refreshing. She seems like she's okay. I know she's used to winter swimming, but we're at the coldest part of the year right now. Did she want to clear her mind or something? That raises the question of what could be troubling her. Laura finally came ashore after spending a little more time in the water. Realizing she would be freezing, Reen made sure he had a towel ready for her. Haha, my apologies. Perhaps it was a bit much to try my hand at swimming during this time of year. It really was. Is something up? I know you're fond of swimming, but doing something like this out of the blue isn't like you. See? Sorry, but you're gonna have to let me dry your hair off at least. Very well then. Having dried off her hair, Reen left Laura to finish drying off otherwise and get changed. In the meantime, he headed back into town to grab her something warm to drink. Thank you for your consideration, Reen. I've warmed up plenty now. See, it was worth me fussing over you. Want to head back to the Courageous? You could catch a cold if you stay out here. No need, I'm fine. As you know, I'm used to this. I'd like to apologize for worrying you, however. Well, I wasn't too worried. It's you we're talking about. So, did you bring that swimsuit from Thor's or something? Yes, actually. I found it in my luggage after leaving. I used it often during the time Emma and I spent in Legram, too. It sounds funny when I say it out loud, but swimming has always been a way for me to wash away my concerns and hesitations. Of course, Emma had a similar reaction to yours whenever I did. It's not funny at all, really. I get what you mean. As a noble, I found myself thinking a lot about what happened here in this province. It is true that what Duke Alberea did to Celtic is beyond forgivable. However, one could also argue that he never would have employed such tactics if war had never broken out. It's clear that his position in both the four great houses and noble alliance is what drove his actions. You may have a point. There's no guarantee that any other noble wouldn't have ended up doing the same. What's funnier than what you said is that I'm technically a noble too, but I've never even thought of things like that before. We still have a long way to go. Not just in swordsmanship either. It doesn't benefit us to single-mindedly dedicate ourselves purely to that. Still, I feel if we're able to make it through this, we will be much stronger thanks to the experience. I want to rise above every challenge life throws my way, both as a swordsman and a noble. Naturally, that involves trusting in others rather than attempting to deal with those challenges alone. Perhaps you're an ideal partner to keep me in check, Reen. Partner, huh? Laura? I didn't mean anything special by that, mind you. It's just that since you also happen to be a swordsman, we should strive to motivate each other. I'm curious to see where we can go from here. There are many incredible warriors taking part in the war, but together I believe we can catch up to them. And just maybe, we'll be able to reach the strength of the Lance Maiden herself. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing just how far our swordsmanship will take us. For once, it wasn't Reen that, didn't think before he spoke. The two talked for a while longer before deciding to walk back into town. Level 6? It doesn't have a number next, so I assume 6 is as high as you can go. Sorry for troubling you, Reen. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you don't end up catching a cold or anything, okay? Duly noted. Maybe I'll make myself some hot tea when we get back. Alright, who's closest next? So that just leaves Alisa and... Okay, so we'll go Alisa, Sarah, then we'll double back around to Eustace. Hello, Elliot. Hope you're doing well. Where is she? She's supposed to be right here. Oh. I'm glad Duke Albare's arrest went as smoothly as it did. I hope Otto can find some peace now. I'm sure he will. Arresting the Duke was never going to give the people of Celtic back what they lost, but it's the most we can do for them. And we've got you and Valimar to thank for that. Without the two of you, the Duke might still be in power right now. Something wrong? No, I'm fine. Don't mind me. We know that's a lie. Alright, if you got something on your mind, there's no need to keep things bottled up. I'm always here if you need someone to talk to. Typical Reen. Well, maybe not that typical. You're not usually this sharp. But you're right. Now that you bring it up, let me ask you a favor. What kind of favor? I do not understand the question. I request clarification. You and not my Awakener wish to board me? That's exactly what I want to do. Would that be possible? I don't want to use you to fight or anything like Reen does. I just want to see what it's like inside, just for a little while, if that's okay. Is that not possible or something? You said they were a secondary contractor, so I was thinking it wouldn't be a problem, but maybe I had the wrong idea. You do not. It is entirely possible for secondary contractors to board me. Really? However, only my Awakener is able to operate me as intended. There is no comprehensible reason for anyone else to desire access to my interior. It's okay, I don't need to operate you, honest. Thanks, Valimar. Can you let her inside, then? As you wish. Well, they're both gonna be inside. This is, well... What? Valimar, did you really have to pick this position? While I have more than sufficient room for a human and a familiar to ride in comfort, an extra human does put unforeseen demand on available space. I'm afraid there is not much I can do under the circumstances. Oh, you are so lying. It's fine. I guess I can make do for a little while. It's kind of weird sitting like this with you, but I guess I am the one who asked for it. I'll live. Well, if you're alright with it, I'm sure not going to complain, but... So this is what Valimar looks like on the inside, huh? It's kind of gloomy, isn't it? Well, there's not much point in having the front screen on when I'm not actually fighting. I have it up... Wait, what? I have it up often enough these days, but honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. I can see outside fine when I need to. Oh, right. It's weird to sit here and think of all the battles you fought with Valimar. When you fought against those Alliance Soldats and against Scarlet and Vulcan, you were right where you're sitting now. Even when you fought with Crow. The fights are always different, but the scenery in here doesn't change much. I'm usually so caught up in the fight that I don't really pay attention to what it actually looks like inside here. Cillian and Valimar have helped me a lot, though, so I'm getting better at this whole thing, bit by bit. It's just not fair. We're your classmates and friends. We're supposed to be fighting alongside each other all the way. But you and Valimar always take the hardest battles. All we can really do is back you up from the sidelines. And to be honest, it's been on my mind for a while now. It bugs me to feel like we're just not doing enough. Oh. So that's why you wanted to see what Valimar looked like on the inside? Yeah, I thought if I could, I'd have a better understanding of what you go through and what it must be like. Looking around, it feels even more isolated than I expected, lonely even. Seeing all the things you do from the outside, then seeing what it looks like on the inside, I have to wonder. Are you okay with how things are? Are you okay with putting yourself on the line over and over like this? Shouldering such a huge burden all alone, and even the burden of those lives you weren't able to save? Alisa, I've never once felt like I was fighting in those battles alone. Oh wow, they're really getting close. You said it yourself, right? I've got all of you backing me up, either on the ground or on the courageous. Sure, you're not inside Valimar with me. Well, she is right now. But I know you have my back. That's why I can keep fighting day after day. In that sense, it's not so different from our days at Thor's. Well, you don't have to worry about me, Alisa. As long as I know you're all there, and that I can look forward to seeing you again after each operation, I'll fight my hardest and come home the victor. All I ask is you keep me in your heart and lend me your aid. Always, Reen. Just don't go doing anything too reckless in here, okay? You're really important to all of us. But especially me, so... Alisa. You could feel that moment. Is there a problem? Oh, Valimar ruining the moment. Oh, what is it, Valimar? I have detected an abnormal increase in your heart rates. Maintaining optimal health is ideal. I recommend rest and a medical examination. Their heartbeats were increasing because they're staring into each other's eyes. No, it's okay. We're fine. We're doing great. Yeah, never felt better. Thanks for worrying about us, Valimar. After taking a moment to unfluster themselves, Reen and Alisa disembarked from Valimar. And all while feeling slightly embarrassed and more than a little awkward, they made their way back to Barrierhard. Alright, there you go. 5.5. Well, thanks for letting me go inside Valimar with you. It's kind of nice having a rough idea of what you've got to go through. You're welcome, I guess. But you might want to teach him to be a little more considerate. Ignore me. I was just talking crazy right now. No idea how that happened. I'm sure. Alright, Sarah's down here. I'm sure talking to her will probably have to do with the Jaegers. Wait, she is down here, right? Yeah, the tavern. So that's where? I assume that's at the inn. Hey there, Reen. Oh, hi there, instructor. Are you feeling a little better now? Feeling just fine, thank you very much. Though I might have overdone it a bit against those guys. Still, at least I was able to see you kids off like a good teacher should. No regrets there. Instructor. Aw, come on, don't give me that look. I might be here resting, but you look like you should get some rest yourself. She's always dodged having to tell us about her past, but she might actually be making an exception this time. Would you mind if I stay here and rest a bit with you? I'd even be happy to join you for a drink or water, I guess. Really? You're gonna be rolling into bars, chatting up the ladies like a pro soon with the way you're going. Just take a seat there. I'll get you a little something fancier than water on me. Uh-huh. Just don't get them drunk. Ew, this hard liquor fights back. Gotta pace myself better. Can't chug them, because they're too strong. I'm 3 sheets to the wind before I know it. It's better than nothing, but I'll take a good beer or cider any day. Haha, I'm struggling with this cocktail, personally. Feels like I'll get drunk from it, even though there's no alcohol in it. Well, hey, that's just one of the appeals of drinking. I'll make sure to teach you how to savor it once you're old enough. Same way both my superior and my friend did for me back in the day. Was that back when you were part of the Northern Jaegers? Yep. Granted, they both kicked the bucket a long time ago. Oh, sorry. This operation brought back a lot of memories. Some of them bad, but plenty of good ones, too. Getting by back then was a real struggle. Felt like no matter what we did, nothing ever got better. You came from Northumbria, didn't you? Seems like life there was a lot more brutal than I could have ever imagined. Would you mind if I asked just when you decided to join the Corps? Couldn't tell you exactly when. It felt like as soon as I knew what was going on around me, I had a gun in my hands. Not like there was much else you could do earning a living around there. They say it was a nice place till the Northumbrian disaster struck around 20 or so years ago. I only go back once every few years now, mainly to pay my respects. I see. It was the kind of place where death would follow wherever you went, really. And I wasn't any exception to that. I've lost many people who are important to me. One day they were there, the next they were gone. It wasn't until around 6 years ago that Beatrix, well, Colonel Beatrix back then, saved me. After that, I cut all ties and headed down the path of becoming a bracer. You know all the rest after that. So, wouldn't that mean around, I don't remember exactly what year, but I would assume that means around the time that Scheherazade became a bracer was around the time Sarah was doing it as well. Yes, we do. I don't even know what to say. I can't imagine leading a life like that. Yes, indeed, you won't find many heroines as tragic as me. But, well, what happened at Oryxford made me realize something. Turns out I hadn't completely cut my ties to that place. Crossing blades with old comrades was more painful than I expected. Maybe it's selfish of me to say, but I wish it weren't. Guess that just goes to show I've still got a long way to go as an instructor. There's still so much I want to teach you so you can make it through all this, but I probably wasn't cut out for the job to begin with, you know? I have to respectfully disagree with you there, instructor. We've learned a lot from you, both individually and as a class. Things that you didn't specifically try to teach us either. We learned those simply through observing your actions. Like what? Take what happened at Oryxford. Your actions taught us that fighting for the people and country you love can be painful at times. We saw that in your willingness to cross blades with those you once knew. You showed us what it means to be truly determined. At least that's what I got out of it. And I'm certain we'll one day have to show that very same determination. Huh. That's why we'd like you to continue teaching us from here on out. In fact, we need you to. I can't see us taking back Thors without your experience and guidance, let alone getting through the Crow. Wow, look at you, Reen. The teachers become the student, talk about cliches. I get it though, if you're that insistent, I'll make sure you all get the best education possible. As your instructor and as your comrade. Reen with his non-alcoholic drink. There you go, almost 5.5 as well. You can bet I'll keep fighting with you guys, both as your instructor and as part of Class 7. Still, I'm really impressed when I look at how much you've grown in such a short period of time. Alright, and last but not least, let's go say hi to Eustace. But I am curious, are those usual guys in Barrierhard, you know, the ones with the dog, or are they sitting where we... Oh my god, they are. Do they do anything else besides sit here? I learned that your Lord Eustace was appointed acting head of the Alborea family after the Duke's arrest. What is the meaning of this? Why was he chosen over Lord Rufus? Are you dumb? Barrierhard is now under the Imperial Army's jurisdiction, you say? Oh, Eidos, what waking nightmare is this? This simply can't be real. Hello, Richard the dog. Oh, let's see what, if Eustace's uncle is in. Welcome. Are you all planning on resting today? I can only imagine how exhausted you must be after all that's happened. Allow me to be so bold as to request that you all stay by Lord Eustace's side as much as possible as well. While they were never on good terms, having to arrest his own father must have hurt him more than he's letting on. We'd be honored to, sir. Alright, Eustace, last but not least. The size of the place never ceases to amaze me. Both Duke and Scarlet being held here, I think. It is quite a mansion. Damn, this is incredible. It's not as grand as Valflame Palace, but I doubt you'll find many mansions this fancy. The Duke's residence is certainly befitting of his status, well, former status. You came after all, Reen? Yeah, I was kind of hesitant to come and visit in case I got in your way, though. No, it's fine. Everything is largely settled here now. I will leave the rest to you, then. As you wish, leave everything to us. We will strive to make things as comfortable for your father as possible. You have my thanks. He's Captain Claire's adjutant, isn't he? Indeed, and quite a skilled one at that. He and his men will be managing the mansion while keeping my father in custody. At least until the war comes to an end. Oh, right. There's no need to look so glum. He deserves to answer for his crimes, much like others. He should be grateful he hasn't been handcuffed and thrown in a cell. I guess that's one way of looking at it. Oh yeah, Scarlet's here too, right? She's currently receiving treatment in the annex. She remains bedridden, but her life is in no real danger, so I hear. That's good. If you'd like to speak with her, you should go pay her a visit. Meanwhile, I'll be going to my room to get ready for departure. If you need anything at all, feel free to come by and see me. Thank you, sis, will do. Wait a sec, where is his room anyway? I don't know where the Annex Scarlet is in either. I guess I'll have to ask someone. Well, not really. Well, let's go say hi to Eustace before we continue the story. Very nice room. It's got everything he probably needs in here. Wow, this thing has so many new models in it. This coloring might actually work out well on my bike, come to think of it. Okay, cool. The RMP should be able to take care of the mansion for the time being. Perhaps this is the chance for me to take one of the horses out for one final ride before I leave. Sounds kind of fun, actually. Mind if I join you, Eustace? I haven't seen any of your family's horses since that race we had. Not at all, that gives me an idea, in fact. Come with me. What, are we gonna race again? Huh, where? Reen borrowed one of the horses from the Albury mansion while Eustace rode another. Together they set off on horseback toward Oryx Canyon, with Eustace taking the lead. Huh? This is where we had our duel before, isn't it? Why'd we come out here? For another one? Draw your sword, Reen. I'd like to request another duel with you. Eustace? Do you remember what you told me during our field study here? You claimed there was something honest about the way I fought. And that it was because I learned my swordsmanship from someone I trusted. I did, didn't I? My trust in my brother has not faltered. However, because of that trust, I fear that when the time comes to fight him, my sword will be hindered by hesitation. I dread the day I will have to turn my blade upon my own brother. I'm not proud of it, but it's how it is. I can hardly blame you, Eustace. Anyone in your position would feel that way. Perhaps, but this is why I'd like to face off with you, Rean. Whether I win or lose, I believe our duel will allow me to cast away my doubts. And through that, I should be able to better trust in my own convictions, regardless of whom I face. I realize that this is a somewhat selfish request, but please, it is important to me. Am I even allowed to say no after that speech? It's not often you ask for favors like this either. So sure, let's go. Just know I won't be holding back. Hit me with all you got. With pleasure. Rean and Eustace began their duel, putting all their strength into the battle. They cleared their heads of all distractions, their focus purely on trying to be the victor. With that, the fight continued on until a draw. I don't think I can move another muscle. Neither can I. Even in real battles, it's not often I fight to the point of exhaustion. I think that's because we can read each other so well that we're able to fight to this point, really. Granted, I could see Master Kafai and Viscount Arcade keeping it up the whole day without getting bored or tired. We're not them, but I think we still did pretty good for a couple of teenagers. Heh, agreed, it was fun in our own strange way. Thank you, Rean. I feel though I can go forth and fight with that same honesty yet again. I may have been taught by Rufus, but it was Class 7 who helped me further and develop my skills. No need to thank me, I'm just glad you were honest with me and asked. That was beyond awful. And they both laugh. That was nice. Afterwards, they somehow managed to summon up the energy to get on their horses and return to Barrierhard. Very nice. Thank you for joining me, Rean. I feel as though I can finally put faith in my swordsmanship now. So let's keep moving forward without fearing what the future awaits us. Alright, and so that's all for the bonding event. So next time we're going to head into the annex and see if we can speak with Scarlet, see if she's awake and about, and I guess Rean can, I don't know, really try and get some answers, but just see how she's feeling. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.